No question.
Yes, good afternoon all. Yes, everyone. Very good. Good afternoon all. Let us come to the last but one class of environment. We are in a topic called as the India and climate change. What are the very important developments that have taken place in the Indian scenario regarding the climate change on line with the world's climatological summits? India was a very keen participant. At the same time, as and when the world summits has conducted, all those things were replicated here in India. Just like in the case of CVD, where the Indian government has gone for the act which is called as the Biodiversity Act. On the same lines, when the Indian World Climatological Summits were happening regarding the climate change and all these things, the government of India has came up with a very great plan called as the National Action Plan on Climate Change, which is popularly called as NAPCC. It is popularly called as NAPCC, nothing but National Action Plan on Climate Change. This is called as the National Action Plan on Climate Change. This is having 8 mission mode projects. 8 mission mode projects. We have completed 3 projects. There are 8 mission mode projects. Out of this one, we have completed 3 such projects. What happened? Is there any issue? Is there any problem regarding the voice or something? Come on, let us check again. You please respond if at all any problem is there. Okay. Now, one more thing, a small information. I have already sent all the 3 very important PPTs which are regarding the climate change to our class coordinator. Our class coordinator will be in turn will be sending those things to you. Okay. I hope all of the PPTs were already reached to you. The only PPT that is kept pending is the climate change PPT. There are 3 such PPTs are there. In the climate change, there are 3 PPTs where I have divided the climate change into climate change part 2, climate change part 3. Whatever I have showed there was the one part 1 and part 2 was shown. Part 3 was not yet shown to you. I will try to show this one today after the completion of the explanation. Voice is very low. Voice is very low. Still the voice is low. Now our technical team has changed the volume. Let you please check this one. Now is it clear? I hope it is increased right now. Now it is clear, it seems. If it is clear, please respond. If it is fine. Voice is too low till point of time, but now it got increased. Yes, just now we have increased the volume. You please check this one. We increased the volume just now. You please check right now. Now it's fine. Till low. Yes, it is. Voice is fine. Still low for some people, fine for some people. Okay. Fine. Now it's fine. Very good. Okay. Yes. Yes, in the adjustment there are some things like when the technical things are there. In India, in fact, that technology is blooming like anything, but the providers are somewhat the private parties, where we are relying on private parties, so it is sometime ups and downs will be there. But fine, now it is fine. Yes, very good. Sir, fine, low, fine, audible with headphones, it is fine. Sir, it is fine, very fine sir right now. Okay, now it is fine. Okay, is it okay? Now, come on, let us see this one. I will increase the pitch. If it is low, I am increasing my pitch so that you can listen these things very clearly. Let me keep the mic a little bit upper. Okay, now it is clearly audible to you, right? Now, let us see the things. What happened? There are 8 mission mode projects that were introduced in India. Though they were introduced in the year 2008, but because of addition of sub projects, like yesterday we were talking about the Griha, yesterday we were talking about the Amrut, the program like Amrut. What is this program like Amrut? Like nothing but the construction of the buildings with such a material where the material should be not degrading the environment. Basically, in urban localities, the heat will be trapped because of use of more and more cement. As the cement is having the capacity to absorb more and more heat, if the heat is being trapped within the urban localities, where the urban areas, because of trapping of more heat, where they are called as, referred as urban heat islands, as they are referred as concrete jungles, right? In order to get rid of all these problems, the government of India gone for the national mission on sustainable habitat. What do you mean by the sustainable habitat? Nothing but going for such type of material in the construction so that there should not be any trapping of the heat energy. And therefore, the living should be comfortable. With the minimum energy use, you need to go for the maximum utility. Also, another very important one called as energy efficiency. In India, what is the biggest problem is the utility of the energy in an effective manner. The energy efficiency is the biggest cause of concern. Where the challenge for the world countries was altogether different things, but in Indian scenario, the challenge is completely different. Production is not a big problem. Production we can purchase somewhere, or we are having a joint venture projects with Nepal and Bhutan. But what is happening? The efficiency needs to be increased. Therefore, the government has gone for BEE, Bureau of Electrical Efficiency, Energy Efficiency. Bureau of Energy Efficiency organization was brought, where it is interested for giving the star rating. These are the things we have seen, right? Now let us move to the fourth such program. What is that fourth program? The National Mission on. What is that one? The National Mission on Sustainable Habitat is done. The National Mission on Water. Very important mission called as the National Mission on Water. Come on, write down the third mission. The third mission is the National Mission on Water. See the current related developments in this thing. What is the National Mission on Water? We need to make use of the water in a very judicious manner, so that if at all you are utilizing this water, that water should not be a problem in the future, for the future generations. We need to use the water in such a way that should be sustainable in nature. All those water bodies that are present should be kept in a non-degradable condition. They should be utilized in a sustainable fashion. This is the use of water in the mission mode program called as pricing the water consumption. The first and foremost one is called as we need to price the water consumption. Also, recycling of the wastewater. The concept which is given by the so-called organization right now is called as CWC. Nothing but Central Water Commission, Central Water Works Commission. What this Central Water Works Commission has given the report in the recent past is a eye-opener. What it has said that both drinking water, nothing but the surface water and the groundwater level in India are depleting fast. 90% of the water that is present in India is utilized for agriculture. Whenever you are utilizing this particular water for agriculture, what is happening? We are losing the surface water which are supposed to be for many other purposes. They need to be utilized for some other purposes, but right now because of the utility of the water, what is happening for the agriculture, even the water is being exported without giving the value for the water. Where this concept was given by Mr. Professor Allen. There was a great professor by name Mr. Professor Allen, he came out with a concept called as virtual waters. Virtual waters. See this one. Professor Allen came out with a very important strategy called as virtual waters. What are these virtual waters? See, these virtual waters can be a direct question for you. Okay, now it is the fourth mission. Yes, very good. Not the third mission, it is the fourth mission. Okay, I understand. Number is wrong. Okay, now it is the fourth mission. Very good. The National Mission on Water. Now let us talk about the virtual waters. The concept given by Mr. Professor Allen way back in the 1990. But right now in the Indian scenario, this particular concept is becoming a very important concept. It is being discussed widely among the policy makers. What is the concept of these virtual waters? Pay attention, very, very important. As India is utilizing 90% of Indian surface water, is utilized for agriculture. What we are doing, after producing the crops, we are exporting the crops to different countries in the name of exports, so that we can earn more and more forex reserve. This is best for the Indian economy. As such, when agriculture is giving certain share in the GDP, definitely it will be positive sign. But the concept of virtual water talks in a different tone. What is the different tone? Understand this one, very, very important. Say for example, this is a paddy field. This is a paddy field. In the paddy field, we have gone for paddy cultivation. Now the paddy cultivation is there. For this cultivation of this paddy, suppose we have used 1000 gallons of water. We have used 1000 gallons of water. After using 1000 gallons of water, the output is 100 tons of paddy. 100 tons of paddy. Say for example, this is the condition. All hypothetical numbers, right? We have utilized 1000 gallons of water to produce 100 tons of paddy. Now, these 100 tons of paddy, in these 100 tons of paddy, what is there? 1000 gallons of water are there. The water is not visible. Now the product is visible. Now water is not there. Water is being consumed within the product. Whenever we are exporting this paddy, whenever you export this paddy, how the pricing was done? Pricing will be done based upon the cost of input. What we are calculating the input as only fertilizer, input as only seed, input as only some other things, not the water that is being utilized here. Therefore, the water is undervalued. The water is undervalued. This is one point. But what Professor Allen is talking about, whenever you are exporting 100 tons of paddy or some product to any country where those products are water intensive products, now literally you are exporting water. If at all you are exporting to Israel, suppose if at all you are exporting this one to Israel. As such, Israel is a water deficit country. Now India is exporting this particular product to Israel. What you are supplying, not just paddy, you are exporting 1000 gallons of water free of cost without taking this into consideration. This is what the concept of virtual waters introduced by Mr. Professor Allen. So important concept. Based upon this concept, all the world countries, especially the developed countries, they started stopping exporting the water intensive products. The best example, there is a orange. There are wide varieties of orange. Oranges are the one where they used to consume the water on a great scale. The country like USA is exporting the sun-kissed oranges. The name of the orange is called as sun-kissed oranges, but there is a orange, probably you might have not heard about that particular orange, but that is orange very famous in the world countries for its sour taste. For its sour taste, the name of the orange is called as Jaffa orange. The name of the orange is called as Jaffa orange, which is a unique orange that is grown only in Israel. This is the orange. where the people of the Israel, they stopped exporting this one. Why they stopped exporting? Because what they are exporting, as such Israel is a water deficit country, and if at all you are exporting the oranges where they are consuming more and more water, what you are exporting the water. Therefore, in order to stop the export of the water, Israel has right now stopped the export of this one. This is the concept of virtual waters, right? This is a very important concept that needs to be noted here. Based on this one, okay, we are exporting our virtual waters, very good. Okay, fine. See, that's what I said. This is all what is called as the hypothetical number. Just if I give you the round figure, you will be able to understand. That's why I have given 1000 gallons, 100 tons. Practically, if at all you want to produce 1 ton, you require more and more water. I am just giving the hypothetical number, right? Now, understand the concept here, not the numbers. Numbers are not important. Now, recently what happened? The Central Water Works Commission said that almost all the metropolitan cities in India, they are having degraded water conditions, especially the groundwaters. The groundwater got depleted. This is a shocking news for the India. The government, whenever you are seeing the Indian scenario, India is such a country where it is having a water surplus. Water surplus conditions are there. Whenever you are talking about the great northern plains, because of the mighty rivers, Ganga and its tributaries, entire the groundwater reserves are too high. But in the recent past, when the Central Water Works Commission has calculated the groundwater, in the North Indian states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, where the depletion of the groundwater was observed. When the depletion of the groundwater was observed in the North Indian state, what to talk about the South Indian states? As such, the South Indian states are the peninsular plateau states. There is no groundwater basically there. But here in the North India, you can find ample groundwater. But the groundwater in the North India got depleted. This is what he has given. What the Central Workers Commission has given, way back we have introduced the programs like Million Wells program. There was a program called as Million Wells program. The Million Wells program is the one which was introduced because of the droughts and the famines that happened in the Uttar Pradesh. In the Uttar Pradesh, in between 1965 to 70, there was a famine. Because of the famine, what happened? The government of India has gone for a program, extensive program called as Million Wells program, where the borewell needs to be drilled at a subsidized price. How much subsidy was given to the farmers? 90% subsidy was given. If the borewell construction cost 1 lakh rupee, 90,000 will be borne by the government. The farmer has to bear only 10%. Therefore, the people have gone for extensive borewells. When the people have gone for extensive borewells, now what happened? Right from 69, 70s till time, by the time it is 2018, when the report was there in the year 2019, the data was collected till 2018. By the time it is 2018, all the groundwater got depleted. What is the biggest problem in the groundwater? There is a misbalance. There is a misbalance between rate of extraction and there is a misbalance between rate of extraction and rate of recharge. See this statement? There is a great misbalance between the rate of extraction and the rate of recharge. Within 1 hour of time, because of the electric motors, you are switching on the motor, within 1 hour you will be extracting some hundreds and thousands of gallons. But the same quantity of water, whenever you want to recharge, how much time it takes? There should be rainwater. The raindrop has to percolate to the lower layers, has to sink in a drop by drop fashion. Then you need to get recharge. How much time it takes? Therefore, ecologically, this particular concept is has degraded the water conditions in India. In fact, we have gone for a wrong policy during 70s. The policy was short-sighted. This is what the statement has given. All the policies at that point of time were taking care of the short-term benefits, not they are looking for the long-term benefits. But right now, what the government of India was talking about, let us introduce such a program, such a policies where there is a long-term side, foresight should be there. And therefore, the government, in order to have the, in order to conserve the water, the government of India has gone for the modern irrigation, the irrigational programs, irrigation programs. See the modern irrigation programs that were introduced by the government of India. The very important one called as Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Very important program. Why this particular program was initiated? Because of the National Mission on Water. Could understand? You need to correlate like this. That program was introduced maybe in the year 2008, but when this particular sub-program was introduced in the recent past, therefore it is still 2008 National Action Policy on Climate Change, still it is a current related one. You can connect these particular programs to every what is called as the plan for the every plan in the National Action Plan for the Climate Change. This is the connectivity you need to understand. The question can be directly asked on Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Under this one, a very important component. See the important components, so very important components like more drop per crop, more crop per drop, more drop per crop per drop means what? Getting more and more productivity from the water. Drop of water is valued, not the water flow right now. Earlier the water quantity is measured in liters and gallons, but now the people are talking about drop of water. This is what the one. Then Har Khet Ko Pani, the program like Har Khet Ko. Har Khet Ko Pani. Supplying of irrigation water to all the agricultural field. This is a very important program that is in OAS right now. Har Khet Ko Pani. Then Har Made Per Paid. See this one. The next one is called as Har Made Per Paid. What is this Har Made Per Paid? In fact, this is the agro-based, nothing but afforestation-based program. But this particular program is also is talking about the saving of the water. Like whenever you are seeing the agricultural field, suppose if this is the agricultural field, this is the bund that will be present around the agricultural field. Normally farmers will be having their boundary for their agricultural plot, right? In all these bunds, what should be grown here? There should be a tall growing trees like this. Har Made Per Paid. In fact, this is the forestry program, afforestation program, but this particular Har Made Per Paid also is the one which is the soil conservation of the soil erosion program. It is related to conservation of the soil erosion. How the soil erosion takes place? Because the roots of the trees will be holding the soil firmly, and also the roots of the plants will allow the water to percolate deep into the inner layers, thereby recharging the ground level. These are the very important program. Then you can find the other things like more crop per crop, then Har Khet Ko Pani, then Made Per Paid. Then you can talk about, because of all these irrigation programs, now what happened? We can talk about what is the target for the Indian farmers right now. They under the National Commission for Agriculture, increasing or doubling the farmers' income by 2022. Right now, because of this COVID, what happened? This particular target of 2020 got shifted to 2024. This is what happened, doubling the farmers' income. Who is this one? Mr. Ashok Dalwai, the very great personality who is the chairman of this one is called as Ashok Dalwai. The Ashok Dalwai committee, who is taking care of the doubling of the farmers' income, all they are interrelated to what is called as National Commission on Water, where the water needs to be used in a judicious way. Because of all these things, the government of India has introduced the very important micro irrigation projects. Micro irrigation projects like drip, right, sprinklers, Then by the things like rain guns. After this rain guns, also not only this one, the agricultural practices, use of the modern agricultural practices like hydroponics, aquaponics, use of modern irrigation techniques like hydroponics, aquaponics. What are these hydroponics? Hydro nothing but water, ponics agriculture without the soil. Agriculture without the soil. Here, what is the main thesis here? Come on, understand this one. In the hydroponics and the aquaponics, whatever the traditional way of cultivating the crops, if it requires 100 liters, at the same place, hydroponics and aquaponics require just 5 liters of water. Where the traditional mode of cultivation is demanding 100 liters of water, the same crop or the same product will be cultivated in the technique called as hydroponics and aquaponics with just 5 liters of water. This is what the variation of the water utility. Is it clear? These are all the very important things that are there here in the National Mission of the Water. The programs like, see, these are the programs. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Vikas Sinchai Yojana. After this one, not only this one, the other water related programs were introduced. What are the other water related programs? Like harvesting programs. Rainwater harvesting program. It's called as rainwater harvesting programs. Like going for check dams, going for the water sinking pits, the rainwater collecting, or water sinking pits, the check dams, going for contour bunding, going for terrace cultivation. See, all these things are included here. Going for terracing, nothing but terrace cultivation, going for contour bunding. What do you mean by contour bunding? What do you mean by terracing? These are the very important concepts along the hill slopes like this. Suppose if this is the hill slope, cutting the mountain in such a fashion where the land will be, it should be made a plain area like this. If it is made a plain area, then you can go for crop cultivation here. Then you can go for crop cultivation here like this. Then you can go for crop cultivation. This is what the one. These are crop cultivation right now. Earlier the entire land was kept pending. That means what? The crop was not utilized. The land was not utilized earlier. Okay. Okay, this is what the terracing. All these are interrelated to this one. This is called as the conservation of water irrigation techniques, groundwater harvesting. Then you can find the things like water positive technologies. The water positive technologies are needs to be introduced here. These are all some of the very important techniques that are present there, right? Just hold on. Some problem is there. I couldn't see the prompter. Let me lift up. Let me scroll this one. No. Yes, come on. This is about the program, right? Then after this one, after this water program, National Mission on Water, let us move to the next one, the next very important program, which is called as National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. Again, it is interrelated. National Mission on Agriculture, which is called as Sustainable Agriculture. National Water Mission, then National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. The interrelated program with the water is called as National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. Now, what are the very important key components? The fifth one. Give the heading as the fifth one, the National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. What are the key components? The fifth mission, National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. First of all, understand this very term called as sustainable agriculture. The National Report number 6, see the connectivity. The National Report number 6 under Convention on Biodiversity, it talked about, yes, there are certain management techniques which are called as sustainable management techniques that were introduced in forestry, introduced in the fisheries, introduced even in the agriculture. How and why the government of India is introducing this particular introduce such type of management techniques? Because of this policy, because of National Action Plan on Climate Change. Had this National Plan on Action Plan on the Climate Change is not there, there is no question of introduction of such policies, right? Now, National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. What is the meaning of this National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture? Why the agriculture needs to be sustainable? Means what? As the climate change is happening, where the composition in the atmosphere or the gas composition in the atmosphere are altering. When the gas composition in the atmosphere are altering, when the gas compositions are altering, okay, when the gas compositions are altering, what they are creating? They are creating some sort of negative impacts on the agriculture. When the agriculture is having negative implication, then what it will be affecting? The food security of the people will be. When the food security is at stake, though we are having a very great economic prosperity, when the people, half of the people of India are not having the proper food facilities, means what? For what our development is? Therefore, instead of keeping concentration on the technological innovations in the other fields, like maybe in the services sector, let us have some R&D, nothing but research and development in the agriculture. Could understand? What is this sustainable agriculture? Very, very important. Recently, in the year 2020, what was discovered in the recent time period is called as Pusa decomposers. Each and every topic is very important. See, this is the current related, this is the old program. Pusa decomposers were introduced in the year 2020. What is this Pusa decomposer? Pusa decomposer is a very unique method of decomposing the standing agricultural crop. In the states like Punjab and Haryana, what is the biggest problem? The biggest problem is stubble burning. Stubble burning. Whenever you are burning the stubble, what do you mean by stub? Understand this one. What is the stub? Stub is a strategy to conserve the soil erosion. To conserve the soil erosion. See the link. You should not or you cannot blame farmers. Whenever stubble burning is happening, everyone is pointing their fingers towards the farmers of Punjab and Haryana. But that very farmers were advised, were made aware to leave the stub in the field in the yester generations. In the yester generations, what happened? Okay. What is this one? In the yester generations, the farmers were asked to go for leaving the stub. What do you mean by the stub? Come on, understand this one. Whenever the farmer, see this one, this is the agricultural field, this is paddy, this is the paddy, has grown extensively because these people have gone for what is called as green revolution techniques. When the green revolution was used here, means what? Going for irrigation, going for chemical fertilizers, going for chemical pesticides. What happened? Is the voice still a problem for you or what? You please adjust yourself. Use microphones, use whatever you want. But listen, the concept is very important. Come on. Now what happened here? The farmers earlier, in the early generations, what they used to do, they used to pluck all the entire plant. While the farmers were using, they used to pluck all the plant because it is the process of harvesting. When they are plucking all the plant, then what happens? The soil becomes loose, the soil gets disturbed here. When the soil becomes loose, for the next crop, tilling becomes easy. For the next crop, tilling becomes easy. Therefore, the farmers are pulling the entire plant, and therefore they are cutting the product. They are taking the paddy. After seeing the paddy, next crop they will be tilling the land. Again they will be going for wheat production. In the case of Punjab and Haryana, when they were pulling the entire plant, what was happening? The soil which was set right completely, holding the entire soil without losing the top soil. Whenever they are pulling, the soil get disturbed, and whenever there is a rainfall or the drainage of the water, this very fertile soil will be lost, which is called as soil erosion. It may be in the form of sheet erosion or gully erosion or entrenchments erosion. This is what is happening. When this is happening, Punjab, Haryana, both the states are losing the very fertile soil. Now the agricultural scientists asked the farmers not to pluck the entire plant. You leave the straw as it is not useful for you. You cut the straw here itself, and this technique was named as stubbling. This technique was named as stubbling. Means what? The farmers are asked to go for stubbling. What do you mean by stubbling? Leaving the straw as it is, anchoring the soil so that the soil erosion won't be happen. Cutting the plant up to the stem. What do you want? You want only the top product. Therefore, you take the top product. Why you are plucking all the plant? This was the knowledge which was imparted to the farmers. Therefore, the farmers followed these instructions and started cutting. But within another 20 to 25 days, within another 25 to 30 days, the next crop needs to be grown. What is that next crop? The next crop was wheat. This is paddy. It is complete in the summer, and the moment when the summer turns and to give out the next season called as winter, the time period that was left was just 1 month, within 30 days. Within 30 days, these stubs, these are called as stubs. These stubs are still there. They didn't get degraded, they didn't get decomposed. They can't again pull the one, because pulling makes another extra effort, extra cost, therefore no need of pulling. Therefore what the farmers feel like, whenever it is coming in between for the next crop, where it is creating some disturbance, let us burn it. The moment when it is burned, the moment when you are keeping a fire, it will be burning. Why it will be burning? Because already the plant dead, because you have cut at this one, it became dry. When it is dry, it will be burning so easily. The moment once you are throwing some matchstick, it will burn like anything. Therefore, it is an easy process. Within 1 day, the entire area will get cleared. No need to wait for 30 or 25 days. Therefore, within 1 day, when the burning is taking place, what was happening? Extensive smoke was there from Punjab, Haryana, Western UP into Delhi, Eastern UP, Bihar. In all these areas where there was a very great smoke, that smoke has created a lot of health hazards in the entire great northern plains. Smog concept came into picture. The smoke along with the fog happened there. Because this one, when the people are suffering, all the government started blaming the farmers of Punjab, Haryana. Because of you people, you are burning the residue, the crop residue, therefore we are suffering and the health of the people is getting altered. This is what the people are being commented. When they are commenting now, in the year 2020, see the development. In the year 2020, PUSA, what is this PUSA? The so-called agricultural university that is present here in Delhi, it came up with a new development called as the decomposers. The decomposer is a small tablet. What you need to do, you need to use just 4 tablets for 1 acre of land. 4 tablets needs to be mixed with the water along with the jaggery, good. nothing but jaggery, good water plus nothing but the jaggery water along with these 4 tablets. What these tablets contain? These tablets contains fungus. The fungus is the one which you need to keep that water for 10 days. It is called as fermentation. Keep the water along with the jaggery, and these 4 tablets needs to be mixed in the water and needs to keep the water for 10 days. The water will get fermented. Once it is fermented, you just sprinkle the water in the agricultural field where the stubs are there. Within a span of 20 days, all the stubs will get decomposed and acts as a manure. In the agricultural field. Therefore, the soil will get replenished. No need to use the chemical fertilizers. Therefore, this is a strategy called as sustainable agriculture. Could you understand? Where it was placed? Under the National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. The going for Pusa decomposers is a very important strategy under the sustainable agriculture. Even though the climate is changing, even though the climate is altering, whatever it happens, the productivity should not get suffered. This is the main underlying task of the sustainable agriculture. Again, I am repeating, whatever the things that happen in the climate change, it should not affect the agricultural productivity. This is the main underlying task of sustainable agriculture. For this, there are number of such programs that was introduced. What are the programs? One, the current related one is Pusa decomposers. The second one, see the second one, going for what is called as zero tilling crop, zero tillage. Going for fertigation. Going for fertigation, zero tilling. Going for organic farming, nothing but paramparagat. The scheme is called as paramparagat sinchai yojana. This is a paramparagat sinchai yojana. Nothing but organic farming. Going for zero tillage. You need not to till the land. You need to simply, this is the land. Normally, what is the tradition? We will be tilling the land, we will be making the topsoil loose. After making the topsoil loose, then we will be introducing the water, then the saplings will be introduced. Now, no need to till. You need to have a small holes like this. You need to dig the holes. And the seed along with some of the nutrients along with the coconut coir needs to be filled up here like this. This coconut coir along with the nutrients will make the roots to get strengthened, they get vigorously grown and they can penetrate the roots into the soil like this. And the crop will be sprouting like this. This is what the concept. Zero tillage. Fertigation. What do you mean by fertigation? Supply of water directly to the root of the plant along with the fertilizers. Water supply, within the water what should be supplied? What should be mixed? Fertilizers should be mixed. The nutrients should be mixed. Whenever you are mixing the nutrients along with the water, where they will be supplied directly to the root of the plant, which is called as the fertigation. Means what? Cultivation plus fertilizer. The two words are being clubbed and gave the concept as fertigation. Clear? These are all some of the things. And then the next one, then neem coated urea. Neem coated urea. Since we are using urea on extensive scale, now the new urea was brought by the government of India called as the neem coated urea. Again, this is a new concept, the neem coated urea. Whenever you are coating the neem, what happens? You can use the product as a biofertilizer. Clear? All these are not only this, there are number of such programs. It is up to you. You can give any number of things like integrated pest management control, going for biopesticides. The best example, we can talk about the introduction of the increasing the soil fertility by using bio-leguminous crops. What are these leguminous crops? Nothing but in the cultivation there are certain things which are called as mixed farming techniques. Mixed cropping techniques, not farming techniques, mixed cropping techniques. What are the mixed cropping techniques? Growing the leguminous crops in strips. Suppose if this is the agricultural field, if this is the main crop, we want this crop, but in between in the lines you can go for some crops which can fix the nitrogen, like leguminous crop. Whenever that leguminous crop is being fixed there, it will be fixing the nitrogen naturally without supplying of supplying the chemical fertilizer. Naturally supply of nitrogen will be there, and therefore these crops will be growing like this. What this one? This is the main crop. These are the helping subsidiary crops. There is no just hold on. Fine. Sorry for this one, something happened. Is it okay? Is everything fine? Okay? Yes, very good. Is it okay? These are all some of the very important things that are there. Then also the government has introduced the other things like giving some credit support to the farmers. Am I audible? All you people are there? Is it connected? Fine, everything is good. Too good, good. Come on. Okay, this is what the next program called as National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. Organic farming, climate smart agriculture, the things like climate smart agriculture. FAO has introduced the thing like climate smart agriculture. Then the latest very important one is called as precision farming. It's called as precision farming. Right now the precision farming is practiced not on a good scale in India, but in the Western world the precision farming is happening. Come on, try to understand this precision farming. The precision farming can be alone can be a question for you. Understand this one, which is under the sustainable agriculture. But the problem here in the precision farming is we need to have the larger land holdings. But in India, the basic problem in the agriculture is the smaller or the marginal land holdings. What is the concept of precision farming? This precision farming is the technology based agriculture, technology driven agriculture. What is precision farming? Come on, pay attention. What is this precision farming? It's a technology driven agriculture. Suppose if this is a farmland, minimum of 30, 40, 50 acres, minimum of 25 acres should be there, right? 25 to 30 acres should be there. Now, entire this land is one agricultural field. Now, this land will be connected to the satellite. Means what? Satellite will be monitoring this particular land and it will be telling that what type of temperatures are there in this area for the next coming 10 days. For the next 10 days, what type of temperatures will be there? What type of rainfall will be there the next 10 days? All these things will be calculated and will be given as a information to the farmer. Day after tomorrow it is going to rain, so don't supply the water today. And how much of water needs to be supplied tomorrow? The entire field requires 100 liters, but you need to supply only 20 liters. It will be specifically, precisely the system will be giving the information. Means what? The satellite will be giving the information to the farmer. What the farmer should be having? The farmer should be having a tablet in his hand, and he needs to check. He needs to check what will be the temperature tomorrow, so that how much water he needs to supply today, what is the soil capacity, means what is the nutrient that is present in the soil, how much nutrient is deficit, whether it is 10 grams or 20 grams of potassium is deficit, or 5 grams of nitrogen is deficit, or 20 grams of lime is deficit. It will be specifically telling that this much of grams of salts are deficit in the soil. You apply only that much of salt in the soil, so that whatever the crop the farmer is growing, suppose this fellow is growing sugarcane, it requires more water, then it will be telling, yes, supply water only 25 liters per day, because day after tomorrow it is going to rain, means what, tomorrow it will be cloudy, therefore the moisture is available for the plant, no need to supply the water to a great extent. Precisely the system will be updated. Not only all the inputs, it will be even predicting the future, like coming 10 days, coming 15 days. Even in your smart mobile, even in your phone, there is an app called as weather. If you click that weather app, it will be giving the projected temperature for next 1 week. Have you seen this one? The same is the concept here, is called as precision farming. Whenever the inputs are applied at precisely whatever the plant requires, how much nutrients needs to be given to the plant, then don't you think that productivity will be too high? Yes, productivity will be too high. Now in the Western world, this precision farming, the precision farming is connected to a very important modern technology called as IoT. The precision farming is connected to IoT. What is this IoT? Internet of Things. What is this IoT? IoT is called as Internet of Things. What do you mean by Internet of Things? I'll give you one best example. The moment when the Internet of Things are installed in the house, the moment you open the lock, or just by the bio indicator, the moment once you are pressing, the door opens by itself. The moment once you enter, the sensors will be there in the room, the light will be switched on. The moment you go out of this room, the lights automatically off. By seeing, the internet will be calculating the room temperature, and AC will be switched on immediately. By sensing the room temperature, you need not to do anything, just by the sensors that are there, what type of temperature is there, what type of temperature needs to be maintained, how much of moisture should be there in the room, how much of heat should be there, how much of light should be there. Everything will be pre-programmed in the internet, and therefore accordingly it will be arranging itself. This is called as Internet of Things. Now the same Internet of Things was combined with the precision farming. Now what the precision farming says? You supply the water today 20 liters. Means what? You need to switch on the motor for just 15 minutes. The farmer will be going to the motor and he will be switching on the motor for 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes he has to switch off. Then he will be adding 10 grams of nitrogen, 5 grams of potash, 2 grams of phosphorus. This is what the command given by the satellite. Therefore he will be calculating this one 10 grams, 5 grams, 2 grams will be added. Once it is connected with the Internet of Things, you need not to do any task. You just has to sit before the monitor and you need to maintain, you need to watch. The Internet of Things automatically switch on the motor by the sensors, by the command given to the motor. At exact time, 10 minutes or 12 minutes or 12.36 seconds, 12 minutes 36 seconds, it will be switching off, calculating the amount of water that is discharged. Then how much of nitrogen is required? 10 grams? Yes, it will be automatically. What you need to do? You need to fill the refill, you need to give the nitrogen in that bottle, you need to give the, you need to keep that one readily. it itself will be calculating 10 ml and it will be supplying the water, supplying the nutrients with the water, and the fertigation will be done. This is what the modern technology that is happening in the Western world. The countries like what is called as the USA, the country like France, the precision farming along with the Internet of Things. In India, precision farming is there. Some of the wealthy farmers, they are going for precision farming, but Internet of Things is not there in India yet. Maybe in the future, the so-called what is happening now, the trend is reverse migration. What is the reverse migration? The people from the software, they are coming back after performing as a CEO of so and so companies. They are coming back and they are investing their money in the agriculture. When they are coming back, they are investing, means what is a reverse trend from urban to rural migration is happening right now, but on a very, very limited scale, not on a maximum scale. Wherever these people are going, they are performing the technology based agriculture. This is what the one, sustainable agriculture. Got the point? These are all present in the National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. Is it clear? You can check all these things in the internet. There are so many things are there, but you will be wasting time if at all you are keep on searching all these things. But what is important, what needs to be written in the mission mode programs, you need to know those things. The modern innovations are very, very important. You have to imbibe all these modern innovations as an example to the examiner. Therefore, the examiner believes that yes, you are up to the mark and you can bring some laurels to India, and therefore you will be selected. Could understand? Ultimately, what is important is your attitude is important. Whether you are going to work for India or not, you need to show in the exam. Yes, I am the perfect personality, I am going to work for India because I know all these things. This is what you need to show. Is it clear? Then after this one, the sixth mission. Let us meet the sixth mission. The sixth mission like National Mission on Green India. The National Mission for Green India. What is the next one? Called as the Green India. National Mission on Green India. Come on, let us see the National Mission on Green India. What is this mission? This is regarding, see this one. National Mission on Green India. What is the number? Sixth number, right? National Mission on What do you mean by the National Mission on Green India? I am going to give you all the current related updates where these things are very important to interlink in the mains writing, mains answer writing. Now see this one. These are the things which are talking about here, they are the thing they are talking about afforestation, reforestation, social forestry, community forestry, city parks, city not parks, sorry, it's not parks, it is city forest. City forest. Have you ever heard the name called as city forest? How comes there can be a forest in the city? The concept is called as city forest. Then there is a other concept going for, what is this green mission? Nothing but going for more and more trees. One of our target in the INDC, we are yet to see this one, INDC. One of the target is we need to sequester, means what, we need to observe the carbon dioxide that was already piled up in our India. We need to observe the carbon dioxide. How we can observe the carbon dioxide? Whenever you are providing more and more greenery. Therefore, the government of India has gone for planting the trees between the national highways, along the highway, not between, along the national highway, What do you mean by along national highway? As and when you are seeing the national highway, right from Jammu to or Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and even from Silchar to Porbandar, northwest corridor, north-south corridor, east-west corridor, where the 4-laner lanes, in between the divider will be there. In the divider, you need to go for more and more trees. What type of trees? Such type of trees which can absorb more and more carbon dioxide. When such trees are there, then what happens? Not only it stops the glare of the light that is coming from the opposite vehicle, also they will be absorbing whatever the pollution that is created along the road. Could understand? Whatever the pollution, suppose if this is a national highway, this is the divider. Over the divider, you can find number of trees like this. You need to grow the trees here. These trees not only stop the lighting of the vehicle, suppose this is a vehicle, the lighting, the glare of the vehicle coming the opposite direction, not only obstruct, but whatever the pollution it is creating, the pollution plus minus means what? Making the concept as a neutral. Whatever the amount of pollution that is created there needs to be absorbed there itself. Therefore, the net pollution here should be zero, which is called as carbon neutrality. This is called as the carbon neutrality. Yesterday also we were talking about the climatic neutral, carbon neutral. This is what the carbon neutrality. Whatever the pollution that is created needs to be subsided there itself. Therefore, there will be neutral condition. Not only this one. Coming to the very, very important program uptaken by the government of India as a prestigious project. What is the project? Whenever you are seeing the Western India, see this is the Western India. What is there in the Western India? This is the desert area. The spreading of the desert is happening towards the Eastern India. In order to arrest the spreading of the desert to the Eastern India, the government of India has gone for growing a green belt. This called as green wall. Going for green wall for about how many kilometers? 1400 kilometers. Right from where? Right from Gujarat till the Delhi Haryana border. Right from Gujarat till Delhi Haryana border, what the government of India has taken as a prestigious project, it is called as green wall. What is that green wall? Of a width of 5 kilometers and a length of 1400 kilometers, growing the trees here. In between the 5 kilometers to 1400 kilometers, this is the 1400 kilometers, the width is 5 kilometers. Where the green trees needs to be, very elongated trees needs to be constructed, means what? Will be forested there. Whenever you are growing such a great tall trees, then what happens? There is a stoppage of desert from the west to east. This is a very, very prestigious project that is already going on right now. The government of India has initiated this one in that 17 and started the program. Now the funds needs to be pumped in and the work is already started, it's going on. But what is the idea behind this one? Means what? From where the government of India got this idea? This is the Green Wall Initiative of Africa. This is the Green Wall Initiative of Africa. In the Africa, suppose if this is Africa, this is the Sahel region. Nothing but the Sahara region. Entirely this is the Sahara region. Entirely the Sahara. When the Sahara desert is spreading toward the south, the entire AU, African Union, has taken a decision to construct the green wall, right from Senegal. The name of the country is called as Senegal. Right from Senegal to Djibouti. This is where the Djibouti is there. The country called as Senegal to Djibouti, where the green belt, they are going to construct this one. This is the green wall. What is this green wall? Going for tall trees. When the tall trees are there, they will be obstructing the dust storms. The dust will never allowed to come to the other side. When it is of 5 kilometer thickness, do you think that the dust can come on the other side? Can there be a desert spreading on the other side? This is what the green wall project that was initiated in the Africa on lines of the green wall of green wall of Africa. What we are doing, we are going for the green wall in India. The green wall concept is a very, very important concept, and it can be a direct question for you in the preliminary part. The green wall concept is from Gujarat to Delhi Haryana border. Such type of things you need to mention in the exam. The program may be the old program. What is the program? The National Mission on Green India. The program may be the old one, but the content within the program should be the new one. This is the way you need to prepare for the exam. This is the mains approach. Could understand? Maybe even this particular, if you know this particular concept, if it is asked in the prelims, yes, you can write in the prelims also. It's not exclusively for mains or prelims. Yes, it is a holistic approach. Do you understand? This is how the preparation needs to be done. One is the so-called decomposers, PUSA decomposers, the green wall concept. All these things are very, very important, right? Then after this one, after the National Mission on Green India, then after the Mission on Green India, then go for the next one, the 7th program called as National Mission on Sustainable Himalayan Ecosystem. Come on. National Mission on Sustainable Himalayan Ecosystem. One more point you can add in the Green India. One more program you can add in the Green India is, there is a weed, not the weed where you youngsters, you people will be going for only the native things. There is a, let me put like this, there is a plant. That particular plant is very, very important for the medicated purposes, just like rhododendrons. We have discussed rhododendrons, right? Where do you find rhododendrons? Rhododendrons are found below snow line. In the very cold areas, there is a plant which is a small plant. In fact, the government of India is preserving those plants. This is called as sea buckthorn. This is sea buckthorn. The government of India has initiated a program called as the National Mission on Sea Buckthorn, which is included within the Green India. What is this National Mission on Sea Buckthorn? This is called as, it is grown only in the cold areas, especially in the cold desert region of Himachal Pradesh and the Ladakh region, where the government of India is carefully cultivating this plant. Why? Because it is having n number of medicated facilities. Just like in the Atlantic Ocean, you can find a sea called as Sargasso Sea. There is a grass called as Sargassum. There is a grass called as Sargassum which is floating on the water. Where? In the Atlantic Ocean. And the sea is called as Sargasso Sea. Might be in the oceanic currents, you might have come across this Sargasso Sea, right? Sargasso Sea, that is present within the Atlantic Ocean. While discussing the concept which is called as Gulf Stream, do you remember the Gulf Stream? The Gulf Stream will be moving across the Sargasso Sea, right? This is a Sargassum grass. This very Sargassum is helpful for the medicated purposes. On the same lines, the government of India brought the Sargassum to this Ladakh region, and Sargassum is grown along with the sea buckthorn. The sea buckthorn is a very important plant that is carefully cultivated by the government of India in the Ladakh region. Okay, you need to remember such type of things, right? This is about the sea buckthorn and the Sargassum and all these things. Okay. What is happening to this one? Your responses are not visible. I need to every time scroll that one. Okay, fine. Anyhow, then the 7th project. What is the 7th project? Very, very important project and current related again. National Mission on sustainable Himalayans, sustainable Himalayan ecosystem. Means what? Himalaya should be in a sustainable, you need to maintain the Himalayas in a sustainable manner. National Mission on Sustainable Himalayan Ecosystem. Again, it's a very, very important program. System. What is this one? Recently, what is the very important thing that was developed here? In fact, in the year 2019, one very important thing happened. What is that very one important thing? There is an institute called as the Indian Institute of Glaciological Studies, the Institute for Himalayan Glaciological Studies. This particular Glaciological Studies institution has provided a report in the year 2019 saying that one of the pollutants from the Great Northern Plains is the cause of depletion of the glaciers of Himalayas. What is that pollutant? This is called as the black carbon. Black carbon. What is this black carbon? Black carbon is nothing but is a very, very common product whenever you are burning the coal. Whenever you are burning the coal, not only the coal, in the rural India, what happens? The people will be having the fuel which is called as the firewood. Even the urban people, in the name of campfire, in the name of celebrations, where you will be going for campfire. In the campfire, what you will be burning? The broken branches of the trees. Whenever the broken branches of the trees, nothing but the wood is burned, or else the coal is burned. Not all the coal, not all the wood is completely burned. Some of the very minute, solid pieces of coal, it will be erupting up into the atmosphere. That unburnt product of coal, product of the charcoal, or product of this very wood, whatever the branches you are talking about, when it is erupting into the atmosphere, it acts as a aerosol. What is aerosol? What is aerosol? If the aerosols are not there, there is no. Aerosol is a nucleus for whom? If there is no aerosol, there is no dash. There is no. Cloud. Clouds cannot form. For the formation of the cloud, what is very important is the aerosol. What is aerosol? Aerosol is nothing but such a solid particle, dust particle. It can be sea salt, it can be volcanic dust, or it can be pollen grain. It can be pollen grain, it can be volcanic dust, it can be sea salt, or it can be any such unburnt coal product. Okay, this is what the aerosol. The aerosols can be natural as well as the artificial. One of such black carbon is the artificial aerosol. When a man is burning coal or some other thing, or even sometimes in the vehicles, whenever you are burning the petrol or diesel, not all the petrol will be completely burnt, not all the diesel will be completely burnt. Some of the small particles of the solid material as a black carbon, it will be emitting out from our engine, from the car or the bike. It will go into the atmosphere and it will be forming an aerosol. Whenever the aerosols are present, then around the aerosol, the microscopic water droplets will be accumulated, forming this as a complete cloud. This cloud, whenever it is giving the precipitation, whenever the cloud precipitates, along with the water, the black carbon will be moving to the land. It will be coming from the cloud to the land. When the rainfall happens on the glacier, suppose if this is a glacier, if this is a glacier, if this is a cloud, the cloud is having the black carbon. If this black carbon falls here like this, if the black carbon has fallen here like this, all the black carbon is fallen here. What is the property of the carbon? To absorb heat.
What is the property of the fresh snow to reflect the sun rays? Albedo, reflecting back the sun rays in the original form is called as albedo. Whenever the ice is having the property to reflect back, now this very property of the ice to reflect back the sun rays in the short form, which is otherwise called as albedo capacity of the snow will be reduced, because this black carbon is having the ability to absorb more and more heat. When more and more heat is observed, then more and more temperatures prevail. When more and more temperatures prevail, all the glaciers will be draining down, melting out. This is one of the very important and main cause of the melting of the glaciers in the Himalayas, according to the Indian Institute of Glaciological Studies in the recent past. Here means what? The air pollutants are polluting the glaciers. The glaciers are being degraded. They are being removed from the tops of the mountains. This is what is happening. There was a very important glacier called as Chorabari Glacier. There was a very important glacier called as Chorabari Glacier. What is this Chorabari Glacier? This is the main glacier which is a source for river Mandakini. For the river Mandakini, this is the main source. Because of all of a sudden melting of the glacier, the moment when the glacier has melted extensively, all the waters are there in Mandakini. Mandakini is a tributary of Alaknanda. Alaknanda forms the river Ganga. Therefore, Ganga flooded like anything. This is what happened in the year 2013. The entire western Himalayas, especially the state of Uttarakhand, devastated like anything. It is because of this glacier. Is this glacier a glacier right now? No. It is no more a glacier. Right now it has turned into a lake. Chorabari Lake. The glacial turned lake. Just imagine, when all the glaciers of the Himalayas turning lakes, what happens to the water security of India? What happens to the ecosystem services for India? Connected to this one, Environment Performance Index. Every 2 years once, the government of the world countries along with the Yale University plus Columbia University. Yale University and Columbia University, both these universities in USA, along with the World Environmental Forum, Environmental Forum, WEF, okay, where the organizations will be preparing an index called as Environment Performance Index. In this Environment Performance Index, what they will be calculating? They will be calculating what is the air quality of that country, what is the water quality of that particular country, what is the soil regenerative capacity, whether the biodiversity services are being properly protected or not, whether the ecosystem services are being properly protected or not, biogeochemical cycles are happening properly or not. By taking all such 36 criteria, they will be preparing the index. It's called as Environmental Protection Index, which was released in the year June 2020. It was released in the year June 2020. And what is the rank of India? Our rank is 168. Out of 180 countries, our rank is 168. Thank God it is in 2020 is 168. In 2018 it was 177. In 2018 it was 177. In 2020 it climbed up. It came to 168. But if at all you are seeing the rank of Pakistan, if you see the rank of Bhutan, we'll be shocked. Like, the countries like Maldives, the countries like Mauritius, the country like Malaysia, Nepal, they are performing very greatly. They are just below 50, whereas we, 168. Even Pakistan is performing better. See where we stand in the environment. The environmental protection performance index, we are poor performance in the environment. We are not maintaining the biodiversity, ecosystem services of the Himalayas. This is what the content that is given in the National Mission on Sustainable Himalayan Ecosystem. These are some of the things where the government of India has taken a very keen note of this one. And the last mission, see the last mission. What is the last mission? The last mission that is present here, this is called as National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. The 8th mission, National Mission on Strategic Knowledge. Strategic knowledge on climate change. Very important mission again. What is this mission? The National Mission on Strategic Knowledge about what? Climate change. We need to have our own indigenous knowledge. We are not supposed to depend upon the report submitted by the IPCC or UNFCCC. Why? Because what happened in the year 2014, IPCC has submitted a report to the world countries saying that the Himalayan glaciers, out of all the glaciers in the world, the Himalayan glaciers are the fast melting glaciers. Within another 1 decade, we are going to see a very great decline in the glacier accumulation in the Himalayas. This is what the report says. Immediately, we, the government of India, we challenged that report in the IPCC, in the United Nations General Assembly. We approached and said that what is that report? The report says that Himalayan glaciers are fast receding, but our data, because our research, our glaciological institutions, whatever they are working on the Himalayan glaciers, they show that they are not so fastly receding. Yes, they are receding, we to accept, but whatever the percentage, whatever the recession that was given there is happening, and we challenge that one. Because of taking our knowledge, our strategic knowledge on climate change, the report was altered. Had we simply followed the reports given by those things, we would have believed that yes, the Himalayan glaciers are fast receding. Our technology means what? Our knowledge regarding the ecosystem of India, our knowledge regarding the conditions that are prevailing in India are very, very important authentic sources rather than the world reports. For this, we need to maintain this particular strategic knowledge on the climate change. It seeks to build a knowledge system. What is this one? This mission seeks to build the knowledge system for the young generations, so that the young generations can involve in this development of this knowledge, scientific knowledge and know-how. Then we will be coming up with our own reports, our own knowledge, so that we can submit those things to the world countries. Based on this one, they can have a policy. This is what the 8th very important program, National Mission on the Strategic Knowledge on Climate Change. These are all the things that were given in the year 2008, but in the year 2012, one more national mission was added. What was that national mission? This is the National Mission on National Mission on the biofuels. A very, very important. Why? Because what happened, by the time it is 2012, the energy security has taken a front seat. Rather than the food security, rather than the other securities, the energy security has taken a front seat, and moreover, we are talking about the decreasing of the fossil fuels and increasing of the non-conventional energy sources. Due to this one, we focused on the biofuels. All the degraded lands that are present in the entire India, the degraded lands needs to be converted into the biofuel production plants, especially the plants like Jatropha, Pongamia. Jatropha, Pongamia are the two very important biodiesel or biofuel plants where they will be growing. They will be growing only in the arid and semi-arid areas. They don't require any special protection. They don't require any supply of regular water. Therefore, the government of India has taken the initiation in all the arid and semi-arid areas to go for extensive cultivation of Jatropha and Pongamia. What are these Jatropha? The seeds of Jatropha, whenever you are crushing, it will be giving a liquid which is called as the biofuel. That biofuel was successfully tested in the flight as a blend of avian turbine fuel for the flight. What is the fuel? It's called as avian turbine fuel. The avian turbine fuel was blended with the biofuel, especially the fuel of Jatropha, in 70:30%. In 70:30%, where 30% of the biofuel is blended. This is called as blending. Blended, and for the first time, the flight was test flighted. The flight was called as the Spice Jet. The Spice Jet was test flighted based on this one, and this was a successful program. This is what the biofuel mission, where this biofuel mission test fired and the blending is happening right now. We want to make use of this fuel on a great scale, but still the program is in the nascent stage, as many areas in India, like many areas like what are called as the arid areas, semi-arid areas, all these areas, we need to convert these things into the, all these things into the plantations. Clear? This is about the national mission, right? After this one, yes, after this one, what we will do? We need, after all the national missions that are present, National Action Plan on the Climate Change, what we need to enter into? We need to enter into the next one called as INDC, India's INDC. Here, before going to enter into the Indian INDC, what is INDC? Intended Nationally Determined Contributions. I will be dictating these things. You please write down some of the very important key points are there, but after the small break. Let us go for a small break. Then we will talk about the INDC. What is ATF? Avian turbine fuel. What is ATF? Avian turbine fuel. Nothing but it is a fuel for flights, choppers, for the helicopters, for the choppers, all these things, right? Go for a small break. After the break, we will talk about the INDC, India's INDC. Come on, write down the first one. Since it is, I am audible, come on, you please write down. Now I am visible. Fine? Yes. Now let us take down the INDCs as it is given in the PIB. What is this PIB? Press Information Bureau. It has submitted the INDC to the UNFCCC through PIB. Our PIB is one issue is instrumental in submitting this one, and it is even the release there in the press also. Come on, write down as it is. Write down the India's INDCs. These are very, very important. What are the contributions by the India to the climate change? In the form of a statement, like in the form of a document submitted by the government of India. When any document submitted by the government of India to the world countries, those documents becomes very important. Come on, write on the first one. Let me take some rest. I will be sitting. You please write. I will be dictating by sitting. Okay. Yes. You reading as INDC, India's INDC. Low sound, you please check.
Even the sound, try to increase the sound please. The first one, the first and foremost INDC. Are you writing? Reduce the emission intensity by. The first one is called as, the first one is to reduce the emission intensity by 33 to 35% of 2005 emission levels. The first and foremost very important contribution. The first and foremost contribution is to reduce the emission intensity by 33 to 35% of 2005 levels by 2030. This is again important point, by 2030. By 2030. Within 2030, we need to reduce the emission intensity up to what percentage? 33 to 35% of 2005. Whatever we are emitting the greenhouse gases in the year 2005, of that level 33 to 35%. Then the second one, produce 40% of energy from non-fossil fuels by 2030. See this one, the second very important one is to produce 40% of non-fossil fuel by 2030. Again a very important commitment, like we need to produce 40% of energy from non-fossil fuel. 40% of non-fuel energy. Non-fuel energy. By 2030. These are the commitments given by the government of India to the climate change summit, which is nothing but the Paris Agreement. The third one, to install the solar, wind, other non-conventional energy sources to a tune of 175 gigawatts by 2022. To install solar, wind and other non-conventional energy sources, to install solar, wind and other non-conventional energy amounting to 175 gigawatts by 2022. See this one, what is the target? The target is to raise the gigawatts by 2022. How much it is? 175, of which 100, what is the one National Solar Mission talks about? It is 100 gigawatts by solar, 60 gigawatts by wind, then 60 by wind, how much it is? 60, 75, right. 10 gigawatts by biofuel and 5 gigawatts by small hydroelectricity power. This is the combination. Sometimes these numbers also can be questioned. Out of this 175 gigawatts of non-conventional energy sources, which is the largest one? Solar is the largest one, followed by which form of the non-conventional energy? It is wind. Wind is accounting for 60 gigawatts. See, this is the breakup. 175 gigawatts by 2022. Within this 175, how it is? 100 by solar, 60 by wind, 10 by biofuels and 5 by small hydroelectricity plant. 10. Coming to total of 175. This is the target. By 2022, how many years are left here? Just 1 year. Within 2022, 31st December, we need to complete all these things. Already we have achieved this one. Already we achieved this one. And it is not a task at all. Already some 52 or 53 gigawatts of the wind power is also generated. So it is not a big task for us. We are going to achieve this one. The next one, after this one, create an additional sink. Very, very important one is called as this one. Create an additional sink. Create an additional sink of carbon. Create an additional sink of carbon to a tune of 2.5 to 3 billion tons. To a tune of 2.5 to 3 billion ton of carbon dioxide by 2030 through forest and tree cover. A very, very important one. Now see this one. What is happening here? Creating a additional sink of carbon. What do you mean by additional sink of carbon? Whenever you are growing the trees, what you are creating sink of carbon, because what is there in the atmosphere? Carbon dioxide is there, the greenhouse gas that needs to be observed. Who can observe? It is the green plants. Therefore, whenever you are creating the additional sink, what do you mean by creating additional sink? Going for afforestation, going for reforestation. Here in this one, the concept here is called as, there is a very important concept called as read and read plus. There is an important concept called as read and read plus. What is this read and read plus? Reducing the emissions. Come on, write down as it is. What do you mean by read? Read is nothing but reducing the emissions. Reducing the emissions through deforestation and forest degradation. A very, very important program called as reducing the emissions through deforestation, forest degradation. A very, very important international organization. International strategy to go for creating the additional sinks, additional sink of carbon. Now what do you mean by this one? Understand this one. Very important. What is this one? What is the main purpose is to create such a greenery in the country, so that the greenery can capture more and more carbon dioxide. Carbon sequestration can be done. When more and more carbon is being stored in the green plants, then what is there in the atmosphere? The carbon will be reduced. When there is carbon dioxide reduction is there, then what happens? The global warming will be less. When the global warming is less, where we will be having a pleasant life of lifestyle here on this earth. This is the target. And this is not an Indian scenario. This is a world strategy where the world countries have introduced this read and read plus in the climate change. There is a climate change where it is called as the Bali, in the Bali of Indonesia. There was a climate change summit happened way back in the year 2007, right? There is a concept called as Bali roadmap. Bali roadmap. In the Bali roadmap, for the first time, read concept was brought. What is the read concept? Reducing the emissions through deforestation and forest degradation. Means what? Whenever you are going for deforestation, when you go for degradation of the forest, emissions will be increasing. But you need to reduce what? The emissions which will be happening through deforestation and forest degradation. This is what the concept. What is the importance of this one? Pay attention, very, very important. What is the importance of this one is, all the developed countries, the so-called world's largest countries, developed countries, highly economically forward countries, all these countries, they are asking
Those countries wherever the forest is there on a great scale, example Brazil, example Malaysia, example Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, example Indonesia. These are the countries where there is a great greenery, even India, the southern part of China, great greenery is there. So great greenery is there. What these countries are asking, the so-called USA, UK, Russia, France, Japan, Germany, all these countries are requesting. What they are requesting, you Brazil, you are having rich forest, you Indonesia, you are having rich forest, Malaysia, you are having rich forest, please don't cut down the trees. Don't cut down the trees. It is a sort of requesting by the developed nations to the underdeveloped and the developing countries not to waste the greenery, because they are acting as the lungs of Mother Earth. If at all you are cutting, you are degrading the forest, what is been happening? What will be happening? The emissions will be there. You can't reduce those emissions. Therefore, you please don't cut. But it is Brazil which came out very heavily on all the developed countries, saying that you are asking me not to cut the trees which are present in our country. If we won't cut the trees, we won't get the empty land. When there is no empty land, we can't grow the food. When there is no food for the people, what is the need of maintaining the forest there? This is the voice raised for the first time by the Brazil, and followed by Malaysia, Indonesia, Congo, almost all every country. When these countries are asking, you please protect the greenery, then these people are asking for what? I need to produce, I need to provide this greenery for you. When we people are suffering with lack of food, when my citizen is not having any food, then we, in want of food, we need to clear the forest, we need to go for agriculture. If at all I am clearing the forest, who the hell are you to ask me? My forest, my land, I will be clearing. In your country, if you don't want to cut the forest, you don't cut. That is your property, it is your headache. I am a sovereign country, I can do whatever I want. This is the concept of READ. When there was a very great voice raised by these countries, then the new concept was brought, called as READ Plus. What is the difference between the READ and the READ Plus? Those countries which are protecting the greenery by not cutting the forest, and the forest is absorbing more and more carbon dioxide of the world, those countries will be given certain incentive. Whenever any incentive is provided, then these people are interested to protect the forest and all these things. That incentive related thing is called as plus. This is the difference between the READ and READ Plus. You should be very careful regarding these two. No, even in the sites of United Nations, the clear definitions are not being given there. Clear? What is the difference between the READ and READ Plus? Providing certain incentive to those countries which are maintaining the greenery. Clear? This is again a very, very important point, where the additional sink. How the government of India is going to create the additional sink? Through afforestation, through reforestation, through social forestry, through city forest. What is the concept of city forest? Within the urban localities, you need to grow the city. Wherever the land is free, there you need to grow the forest within the city limits. The best example, the Ghaziabad city forest. There is a forest within the Ghaziabad city limits, the Ghaziabad city, Junagadh region. There are number of such city forests where you can find the city forest concept, right? This is about the increasing of the carbon sink to a tune of 2.5 to 3 billion tons. For this, what is the other very important green wall concept that is present in India? Like across the Aravallis, the government of India is planning to go for green trees. Also along the national highways, length and breadth of the national highways, green trees. Therefore, what is being brought? More carbon sink is brought in India. When more carbon sink is there, the carbon sink will be keep on absorbing the carbon dioxide and will be reducing the carbon dioxide. Right? This is the one of the goal of INDC. Then fifth one, the fifth very important one. What is the fifth one? Implementation of Green India Mission. Implementation of Green India Mission. What is this implementation of the Green India Mission? Come on, understand this one. The Green India Mission, by developing 1,40,000 kilometers of long tree cover along national highways. This is called as the Green India Mission. What is the Green India Mission? Nothing but along the national highways. Right now, how much of road network is there in India under the national highways? 1,40,000 kilometers. Along the 1,40,000 kilometers of road, both sides where you need to grow the trees. This is what the Green India Mission. This is again very important mission. Then the sixth one, better agriculture, water strategies. Better agriculture and water strategies. Better agriculture and water strategies by redesigning better agriculture and water strategies by redesigning National Water Mission. What is the mission called as? National Water Mission. Very, very important again. Better agricultural and water strategies by redesigning the National Water Mission and Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. Not only water mission and the mission on sustainable agriculture. Mission on sustainable agriculture. This is again very important INDC. INDC means what? Intended nationally determined contribution. Then the seventh one, implementation of wasteland development program. Whatever the wastelands that are present there, we need to bring back the wastelands under the cultivable conditions. Then National Mission on Clean Ganga. National Mission on Clean Ganga. See, these are all the very important commitments given by the government of India to the world countries, saying that all these things we are going to complete within 2030, so that the first, what is the first commitment? The first, what is the first one? By 2030, we are going to reduce how much? 33 to 35% of the levels where we are emitting by 2005. We are going to commit this one by 2030. This is what is given by the INDC. Nothing but intended nationally determined contributions. Right? These are some of the very important things that are present there. These are all the very important commitments. Clear? Okay? This is about all these things regarding the INDC, India's INDC. You can check all these things in the article that is published by the government under the PIB. If you type India's INDC, you can get some other things, like you can add some other points which are given in the INDC, like we are going to implement CRZ, Coastal Regulatory Zone. Clear? All these things are given here, right? With this, what is completed here is India and the climate change. What we are performing for the betterment of our climate. Then after this one, a very, very important concept where there are the engineering techniques
not all the techniques have implemented right now. Not all the techniques are implemented right now. Some of the techniques are in a pilot project. Some of the techniques are just there in the records, and some of the techniques are right now they are utilized. They are being followed right now. What are these techniques? These are called as GHG, greenhouse gases sequestration techniques. They are the sequestration. Very, very important one. See, this is the earth, this is the atmosphere. All the greenhouse gases are present here, all the carbons are present here like this. So many gases are there. So many gases are there. Already it was there right from 1750. We have started emitting so much of carbon dioxide. Not only the carbon dioxide, all other some other components. Now what needs to be done? This is the concept called as geoengineering. Geoengineering carbon sequestration techniques. Come on, write on. Geoengineering carbon sequestration technique. Geoengineering carbon sequestration techniques. Come on, very, very important. Geoengineering carbon sequestration techniques. What are these geoengineering carbon sequestration techniques? Come on. What are these geoengineering carbon sequestration techniques? When the greenhouse gases are already there, one is at this present context, what we can do is we can stop releasing the greenhouse gases, right? We can stop releasing the greenhouse gases. That is there in our hand at the present generation. But what about those things which were already released? They are present in the atmosphere. How many years they will be there? I will give one very important concept. See the very important concept. Whenever you are talking about the greenhouse gases, these greenhouse gases, abundant greenhouse gases of all these things is the carbon dioxide. How the carbon dioxide is released? The moment once we inhale and we exhale, what we will be exhaling, we will be releasing carbon dioxide, right? The moment once we release the carbon dioxide, this very carbon dioxide, whatever we have released right now, will be staying on this earth, nothing but in our atmosphere, for about 200 years. Whatever the carbon dioxide just now I released will be staying for 200 years. Means what? Even after my death, my footprints will be there, which are called as the carbon footprints. Could understand? See the points. What do you mean by carbon footprints? Carbon footprints. What are carbon footprints? How much of greenhouse gases are being released by a person or a industry or one city or by one country. You can calculate the carbon footprints at any stage. It can be calculated according to a country wise or according to person or according to industry. What is the carbon footprints of thermal industries? Thermal industry carbon footprints are more when compared to some other industry like transportation industry. When transportation industry and some other industries compared, the transportation industry footprints are more. What are these footprints, the carbon footprints? How much carbon dioxide or carbon elements are being released in the atmosphere? These are called as carbon footprints, right? These carbon footprints will be calculated based on what is called as global warming potential. Come on, very, very important concept. What is this global warming potential? This is popularly called as GWP. Means what? There are number of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide is there, nitrous oxide is there, carbon dioxide is there,
nitrous oxide is there, sulfur dioxide SO2, SF6, sulfur hexafluoride, CFC, HCFC, HFC. These are all what are called as the greenhouse gases, right? Just now I said that carbon dioxide will be staying in this atmosphere for 120 to 200 years. Whatever the carbon dioxide I release right now will be staying here on the surface for about the next coming 200 years. Just imagine, anywhere between 120 to 200 years. Even after my death, the carbon dioxide is released by me will be there. My footprints can be seen even after the death. Just imagine, if just one gas called as carbon dioxide is staying in so many years, what to talk about these gases? These gases will be staying in the atmosphere. Once you release these gases will be staying in the atmosphere anywhere between 11,000 years to 50,000 years. Just imagine, once you released, the gas will be staying in the atmosphere for 50,000 years. How to remove that one? How to clean that one? Where it is there in the atmosphere. How to catch that particular specific gas? That is the $1 million question. Where the techniques are brought by the climatic scientists under the concept called as geoengineering carbon sequestration techniques. So important, very, very modern techniques, very important. Now, before going to see these techniques, let us talk about the global warming potential. Let us talk about the global warming potential. What is this global warming potential? Come on, understand. Understand the global warming potential. Right. What do you mean by the global warming potential? Yes, now come on. What do you mean by global warming potential? Global warming potential is how much warming can be done by 1 ton of carbon dioxide. How much warming can be there in the atmosphere by 1 ton of nitrous oxide? How much warming can be there by 1 ton of sulfur hexafluoride? How much warming will be there from hydrochlorofluorocarbons? How much warming will be there hydrofluorocarbons and all these things? 1 ton of this particular gas, how much it is going to create the warming, global warming. This is called as the global warming potential. Since carbon dioxide is the largest or the abundant gas in the atmosphere, all they are compared with respect to carbon dioxide. What is the formula the climatic scientist has brought for the global warming potential? They have given a formula like global warming potential is equals to the global warming capacity of 1 ton of greenhouse gas, specifically write down like this, 1 ton of greenhouse gas by global warming capacity of 1 ton of carbon dioxide. This is the formula. What is the formula? Global warming potential is calculated as global warming capacity of 1 ton of any gas divided by the global warming capacity of 1 ton of carbon dioxide. Means what? It is equating to carbon dioxide. Suppose I want to calculate the global warming potential of carbon dioxide. How much global warming of carbon dioxide is there? 1 ton of carbon dioxide, how much it is going to create? It is nothing but the global warming of carbon dioxide by global warming of 1 ton of carbon dioxide. Therefore, it is 1. What is the value of global warming potential of carbon dioxide? Global warming potential of carbon dioxide global warming capacity of carbon dioxide is 1. This is what the standard formula. Could able to understand what is the formula? Global warming capacity of 1 ton of any GHG divided by carbon dioxide. If I want to calculate the carbon dioxide itself, how much the global warming carbon dioxide can create, divided by that much of warming by carbon dioxide. Therefore, both they will be equal and it becomes 1. The global warming potential of carbon dioxide, if you are taking as 1, what will be the global warming potential of these gases? See this one. This is one. Methane. I didn't give the methane here. CH4. CO2. CO2 if it is 1, methane is 4. Methane is 4. Not 4. It's called as 12. Methane is 12. Where 1 ton of carbon dioxide, whenever it is creating so much of heat, at the same time, if it is 1 ton of methane, it is creating 4 times more heat than that of the carbon dioxide. It is creating 4 times more heat than the carbon dioxide. Just imagine. This is what the concept. Clear? Then, what nitrous oxide, what sulfur dioxide will be given? Nitrous oxide around some 120 times. Sulfur dioxide around some 150 or 170. Then see this one. See all these things. All these things around 11,500 times more than 11,500 times more than carbon dioxide. If at all you are releasing 1 ton of HFC, hydrofluorocarbons in the atmosphere, how much global warming can take place is 11,000 times more than what 1 ton of carbon dioxide is having the capacity to heat the globe. Just imagine. Moreover, they are staying for 50,000 years. This is the biggest problem. Global warming potential alone can be a question. Is it okay? Global warming potential alone can be a question. You need to be very careful, right? Now, this is what the entire concept of global warming potential. Come on, make note of this one as it is. Make note of this one. Global warming potential as it is. Come on. Numbers are not that much important. What is important is concept. Concept is very, very important. Global warming potential is nothing but how much potential is there for any greenhouse gas to heat the globe when compared to carbon dioxide. Is it clear? Now, with this background, let us enter into the geoengineering techniques. Come on. Let us enter into the geoengineering techniques. Come on. Geoengineering techniques. What are these geoengineering techniques? Nothing but geoengineering carbon sequestration techniques. These techniques are classified into 2 types. One is called as GHG removal. Then solar energy management. These techniques are classified into 2 types as GHG removal and solar energy management. What is the GHG removal and solar energy management? Pay attention. Already whatever the gases that are there, if at all we are observing, you are sequestering, if at all you are taking, observing and you are storing somewhere, this is called as GHG removal. Already piled up, needs to be removed. Or whatever is releasing needs to be captured and needs to be stored somewhere. Right? And then the second one is called as solar energy management. For what? For how the global warming is happening? How the global warming is happening? Global warming is happening because of solar energy. Whenever solar insolation is coming onto the surface, it is having the capacity to heat the earth. If we stop the energy coming from the sun, then the energy will be, the heating will be less. These are the two techniques. Is it okay? These are the two techniques. Could you able to understand this one? Could you able to understand this one? These are the two techniques. One is GHG removal, another one is solar energy management techniques. What are the different methods they are there? Let us start with GHG removal. GHG removal. In the GHG removal, the first one is called as carbon capture and storage. Carbon capture and storage. The second one, the first one is called as the carbon capture and storage. After this one, then the second one is called as ocean fertilization. Ocean fertilization. This is also called as iron fertilization. Ocean fertilization, otherwise called as iron fertilization. Then it's called as ocean fertilizer, iron fertilization. Then what are the other things? One is called as the ocean fertilization, then iron fertilization. One second. Then global oxy, it's called as the next one is called biochar. Come on, it's called as biochar. The technique is called as biochar technique. Then the next one is called as gas sweetening, oxy fuel combustion, These are all the GHG removal. All they are the GHG removal. Now, solar energy or solar radiation management. Solar energy management. The first and foremost one is called as cool roof techniques. The first and foremost is called as cool roof technique. Stratospheric. Sulfur. Stratospheric sulfur aerosols. Marine cloud brightening. Stratospheric sulfur aerosol technique, marine cloud brightening, then marine sulfur aerosols, marine cloud brightening, then solar sunshades. Solar sunshades. These are the techniques. Come on, write down as it is. Huh? Come on, what are the techniques? Come on, check this one. Come on, write down as it is. Have written? Let me explain each and every concept. Every concept is important. In fact, these are the concepts brought by the world scientists. Some of the environments from Israel, some of the one from the France, some of the from Germany. All they have kept these proposals. But most of this one are not implemented. All they are in the nascent stage of development. If we can implement this one, it will be maybe we may get positive or maybe we may get even negative impacts. We don't know. That's why all the techniques are in the nascent stage. What is going to happen? We don't know. We don't know the result. But the techniques are available. Right? Come on. Is it okay? Okay. Good. Now let us start with this one. The first one, carbon capture and storage. Come on, let me start with the GHG removal techniques. GHG removal. This is the GHG removal. First one is called as carbon capture and storage. What is carbon capture and storage? Suppose if this is the industry which is polluting like anything, this is the chimney and from the chimney it is polluting. Now what the carbon capture storage technique talks about, this is the surface of that, right? What the technique talks about, we need to go for closing the chimney like this, and this pipe needs to be brought deep into the inner layers of the earth for about more than 2 kilometers deep. Whatever the gas that is being released here, all they need to be captured. And needs to be guided into the inner layers of the earth like this. Whatever the pollution source is having, this type of concept is called as point source of pollution. There are two types of pollutions. One is called as point source, and one is called as non-point source of solution. What do you mean by point source? This is the point source. At one point where all the pollution is happening, is called as point source. Whereas a non-point source is nothing but just like the vehicles in the entire area. Suppose if at all you are taking the case of Delhi, how many vehicles are there? Some millions of vehicles, 11,000 millions of vehicles are there. Whatever the population, equivalent to the population, the vehicles are there. So each and every vehicle will be polluting. You can't calculate that this vehicle is polluting this much, this vehicle is polluting this much. Therefore, this is called as non-point source. Whereas industry is the best example for the point source. This technique, CCS technique, carbon capturing and storing, will be feasible only for the point source solutions. Point source pollution only, where the capture is being captured and is carefully pumped into the deep inner layers of the earth for about more than 2-3 kilometers. When at that depth, what happens, because of the great pressure that is present there, the carbon dissolves into the lower layers of the earth. This is one of the technique. Capturing the carbon and storing in the deep inner layers is called as carbon capture and storing. This is the first and foremost one. Then the next one. What is the next one? Ocean fertilizer, iron fertilization. Come on, let us see this one. What do you mean by the ocean fertilization and iron fertilization? Very, very important one. This is called as iron fertilization, otherwise called as ocean fertilization. Whenever you are releasing the iron in the ocean, what we are talking about, we are not talking about the metallic iron, just like what is there in our blood. In our blood, iron content is there, right? That is not equivalent to the metal. That iron, which is very much useful for the growth of green plankton in the ocean, where a small experiment was conducted. What was the experiment? In the southern Pacific Ocean, where an experiment was conducted by taking 50,000 square kilometer of area. In that 50,000 square kilometer of area, the carbon was inserted. The carbon was made to enter into the water. When the carbon was added to the water, because of the iron properties, the plankton started growing on a great scale. What is the plankton? Nothing but the phytoplankton, the great green cells of the plants that are present there. When they started growing, these green plants, nothing but the planktons, they are having the capacity to absorb the carbon dioxide and release the oxygen. Therefore, they started absorbing the carbon dioxide. When they started observing the carbon dioxide, the atmospheric health of that region become very great. This is the experiment conducted in the year 2018. What is the name of the experiment? It's called as South Oceanic Iron Release Experiment. This is the experiment. This is the experiment that was conducted. What is the experiment? Southern Ocean Iron Release Experiment. This is the experiment which was highly successful. They say that whenever the iron content is released into in the oceans, the ocean plankton will be increased enormously. That particular plankton can absorb more and more carbon dioxide, and the oceans can become a great sink of carbon dioxide. As such, the oceans are automatically the sinks of carbons, but right now because of increasing temperatures, the oceans are unable to absorb the water. Whenever we are releasing the iron into the ocean, then what happens? The capacity of the ocean to absorb more and more carbon will be enhanced. This is called as iron releasing experiment, otherwise called as iron fertilization or oceanic fertilization. This is a very important experiment which was proved beyond doubt that yes, this is a very feasible solution for sequestering the carbon dioxide. Right? This is the Southern Ocean Iron Release Experiment. Then, what is the third one? The third one is called as biochar. Come on, again very very important. This is called as the biochar experiment. Biochar, pay attention, very very important. In fact, this is implemented in India. In India, we started implementing this one. Not this one, not this one. It's not yet implemented in India, but biochar concept was introduced in India and it was successfully run by the government of India as a test pilot project. Okay, what is biochar? Biochar is basically meant for the waste that was, the organic waste that was released. Organic waste. What do you mean by organic waste? Like the household waste, all the waste that is as a litter by the plant, when the plant is shedding all the leaves, when the plant dies, what happens? You can find more and more wood material, or else the kitchen, the kitchen waste, the household waste, where the vegetable waste, all the material which is the organic matter, all the organic matter like the dead plants, dead animals, the kitchen waste. Also you can find the things like the branches of the trees. All this organic waste will be converted into biochar. How they can be converted into biochar? Whenever this organic waste is being subjected to pyrolysis. The concept is called as pyrolysis. What do you mean by pyrolysis? Heating the organic waste to such a great temperatures in the absence of oxygen. In the absence of oxygen means what? Anaerobic heating. It's called as anaerobic heating. Whenever you are burning or nothing but whenever you are heating the organic material in the absence of oxygen to a high temperatures, more than 150, more than 200 degrees centigrade, then what happens? All this organic matter converts into black coal-like substance. When this black coal-like substance is brought where it is called as biochar, then you can break this one, you can crush this black coal-like material. After crushing this one, it turns into small powdery material. This powder can be spread in the agricultural field. When the powder is spread in the agricultural field, this particular product acts as a carbon. It absorbs all the carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere. When it is observed as a carbon dioxide is observed, the carbon dioxide is very much available for the plant, they are growing there. Moreover, this particular carbon can be enhancing the soil fertility also. Therefore,
The biochar is a very important technique to observe the or sequester the carbon dioxide. Clear? This is the biochar concept. After biochar, there's gas sweetening. What do you mean by gas sweetening? Again, very, very important technique. What is this gas sweetening technique? Whenever you are seeing the gas that is being extracted from the natural gas sites, the oil and natural gas, this is a fossil fuel. When you extract the gas, this natural gas can be of two types. One is called as sweet gas, another one is called as sour gas. What is this sour gas? It is more polluted. Whereas the pollution is less here. Sweet gas, whenever it is burned, it is giving less pollution, whereas the sour gas, it is giving great pollution. Why? Because of presence of HS hydrosulfide, H2S. Because of presence of hydrosulfide, this is called as hydrosulfide. Because the presence of more and more hydrogen sulfide within the sour gas, what is happening? The pollution is very high whenever you are burning this one. Therefore, there is a pre-combustion technique. The pre-combustion technique. What is this pre-combustion technique? Before burning this gas, you need to remove this hydrogen sulfide. Whenever you are removing the hydrogen sulfide from the gas, then the pollution levels that are released by this one will be very less. This is called as sweetening the gas. What do you mean by sweetening the gas? Reducing the hydrogen sulfide. Whenever the hydrogen sulfide is removed from the gas, then we can see the less pollution. This is one. This is the pre-combustion technique. On the same lines, there is another pre-combustion technique called as oxy-fuel combustion. The next one is called as oxy-fuel combustion. What is oxy-fuel combustion? Come on. Whenever you are burning anything, whenever you are burning in the presence of oxygen only, where it will be burning, right? Now, what is there in the atmosphere? 70% of the gases are nitrogen, only 20% is there oxygen. Which is very important for the burning? It is oxygen. Whenever you are burning, the impurities are there on a dominant scale. What are those impurities? The impurities like nitrogen. Therefore, more the impurities, more the pollution is there. When more the impurities, more the pollution, let us remove the impurities. Means what? Whenever you are burning any gas or any product, you supply the oxygen, such a oxygen where nitrogen is separated. When nitrogen is separated, only pure oxygen is supplied. When pure oxygen is supplied in the combustion process, then the pollutants that are released will be kept very low. This is what called as oxy-fuel combustion. Oxy-fuel combustion and the gas sweetening are the pre-combustion techniques. These are the techniques which are for the GHG removal. All they are for GHG removal. Clear? Is it okay? Could you able to understand this one? This is about the GHG removal. Then coming to solar energy management. Let us talk about the solar energy management. Again, these are very, very simple. What are these solar rules, solar energy management techniques? Nothing but the first one, solar roof, or nothing but it's called as cool roof. What is this cool roof technique? The cool roof technique is so simple, where in India, right from times immemorial, we are following this one. What do you mean by cool roof technique? Nothing but whitewashing the roofs of all the building. Whenever you are applying the white paint on all the roofs of the building, what is the property of the white color? To reflect back the sun rays, where thereby more albedo can be seen. When more albedo is there, definitely the insulation, that is the temperature that is happening will be less. Without absorption, whenever you are reflecting back, this is what albedo is. Who can who can give more albedo? It is a white color. Therefore, let us go for whitewashing all the roofs. This is called as the cool roof technique. This is the cool roof technique. Then the next one called as very important one called as sulfur stratospheric aerosol. When the volcanism takes place anywhere in any part of the world, whenever the volcanism takes place, above the volcanism there will be a jung layer. Means what? If this is surface, if this is the volcano. If the volcanism happens in the atmosphere, you can find a layer like this. A layer. This is called as jung layer. Technically, it is called as jung layer. What this jung layer consists of? This consists of sulfur plus volcanic dust particles. It consists of sulfur, volcanic dust particles. When a volcanic dust particle cloud forms here, then what happens? As such, the cloud is having a great albedo effect. What is albedo? Reflecting back the sun rays in their original short wave form. When this cloud naturally forms, the sun rays will be reflected back without allowing the sun rays to enter onto the surface. Then, when the nature is showing the solution, why don't you go for creation of jung layer? Such a creation of jung layer artificially by the man is called as stratospheric sulfur aerosols. Means what? In the stratosphere, what the scientist says, in the stratosphere just above the ozone, let us spray, or without affecting the ozone, you spray the sulfur. Whenever the sulfur aerosols, what are aerosols? Aerosols are the material which is helpful in creating the cloud. Then you can find the formation of the cloud. When the cloud is there, the sun rays that are allowed here onto the stratosphere will be reflected back without entering into the troposphere. When the sun rays are not entering into the troposphere, who will be cool? The earth will be cool. This is what called as sulfur stratospheric aerosol concept. The next one, marine cloud brightening. This is also the same type of concept. What is this one? As such, the clouds are having very great albedo. Okay, marine cloud brightening, yes, very good. I am going slow, okay. Cool roof, what are cool roof? Nothing but whitewashing the roofs of all the houses. Write down alternatively, cool roof. What is cool roof? Whitewashing all the houses rooftops. Therefore, albedo will be high. Then stratospheric sulfur aerosol. What is this stratospheric sulfur aerosol? In the case of natural volcanism, as we can see, a jung layer formed naturally by the volcanic dust and the sulfur gas that is released. If we can create the same type of jung layer using sulfur in the stratosphere, then what happens? The same impact will be there. Like the natural jung layer, the same impact will be there in the stratosphere. When the stratosphere is reflecting the solar insolation, atmosphere will be very cool. Thereby, when the sun rays itself are not entering the Earth's atmosphere, there is no question of heating. Thereby, we are stopping the global warming. Clear? This is called as the stratospheric sulfur aerosol. Then, marine cloud brightening. What is this marine cloud brightening? A very important concept again. What is marine cloud brightening? Now see here, in all the water bodies, over the water bodies, especially the larger water body like Pacific Ocean. In the Pacific Ocean, what we need to create? We need to make the clouds to form. How can we make the cloud to form? Yes, there is a technique called as cloud seeding technique.
where we need to insert the seeds, nothing but aerosols in the upper layers of just 1 kilometer, around 1 kilometer of height from the ocean. When the aerosols are released, what type of aerosols? The aerosols like sea salt. The best aerosol is a sea salt. What is the sea salt? Small crystals of salt. You need to take the flight, you need to spray the sea salt, or you can spray what is called as the silver iodine. These are the small minute salt crystals. If at all you are spraying, then you can find huge cloud formation of the cloud like this. The formation of the clouds will be huge like this. When more and more clouds are there, the sun rays falls on the cloud. The cloud is the one which is having a very great albedo. See, here in the case of albedo, you might have come in geography, which are the two very important elements where they are having high percentage of albedo, very great amount of albedo on the surface of the earth. There are just two such material where the albedo is very great. What is albedo? Reflecting back the solar insolation in its original short wave form. I hope all these things are known to you. That's why I am not giving much stress on albedo. If the sun rays are reflected back in their original form, it's called as albedo. There are two very important substances on the surface of the earth where you can find very great albedo. One is fresh snow. Another one is fresh snow, another one is called as clouds. These are the two very important elements where they are having high rate of albedo. Fresh snow never observe the sun rays, reflects back, 97% of the sun rays are reflected. Cloud, 92% of the sun rays will be reflected back. These are the two very important material on the surface of the earth where they can reflect back the sun rays. When the clouds are reflecting back the sun rays, whatever the sun rays come, it will be reflected like this. It will be reflected. Then create clouds. When you are creating the clouds, where? Not on the land. If at all you are creating on the land, what happens? It will be flooding condition. Again, you have to face some other consequences. Therefore, go to the center of the ocean, come and create the clouds there. Then they will be sending back the sun rays. When the sun rays are not allowed to come out to the surface, definitely the temperatures of the earth will be low. No global warming. Clear? This is what called as marine cloud brightening. And the last one is highly innovative one. Solar sunshades. Not yet implemented. It is there in the theory. What is this solar sunshade? Very, very innovative thought. What is this very, very innovative thought? Okay, very, very innovative thought. What is that one? Called as solar sunshades. What is a sunshade? Whenever you are having an umbrella, if at all you are moving in the sun, that umbrella will be creating certain shade for you so that you will be saved from the scorching sun. Right? On the same lines, the climatologists and some of the astrologers, what they believe is, let us create a solar shade in the space. Now, listen to this one. Let us create a solar shade in the space. Suppose if this is the earth, this is the space, right from earth to around 1.5 million kilometers. At a distance of 1.5 million kilometer from the surface of the earth, from up to a distance of 1.5 million kilometers, there is a point called as Lagrangian. There is a point called as Lagrangian point. This is a point. At around 1.5 million kilometers, there is a point called as Lagrangian point, where the Earth's energy and the Sun's energy are almost all meeting equally like this. There, what you need to do, you need to place the mirrors like this. You need to place mirrors. If this is the earth, the mirrors should be placed like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the mirrors should be placed like this. When all the mirrors are placed, since it is a space, no need to hang the mirror or no need to keep the mirror and a support. Just place the mirror as it is. Whenever you are placing the mirror, open whatever is required. Open whatever is required. When the sun rays falls, when the sun rays will be falling like this, as they are the mirrors, they will be reflecting back the solar energy. How much is required for the earth? You open that much and allow only that much of insolation into earth. Whenever you are allowing only that much of insolation onto the earth, as such the insolation itself is less, global warming will not be there, therefore we will be having all cooling effect. This is called as solar sunshade project. These are all the hypothetical experiment, but the scientist says that it is not hypothetical, it can be proved beyond doubt with a with a great success. This is what they said. But the government of the world countries, they have not yet implemented this one, but this is a strategy. This also we can implement in times of requirement, as a last resort. These are all the techniques that are being given by the climate scientists. Is it clear? See, on listening all these things, how they are? All innovative thoughts. Whether we will be implementing or not, that's a different story. But this is the one. Is it clear? Is it okay? All this is about the climate change. What happened in the climate change? What is the Indian scenario? Then how the geoengineering techniques are brought? What is mean by global warming potential? What is mean by climatic neutrality? And there is another concept called as do one thing. Instead of me giving this one, this is a very simple concept. You search these two. I am giving small assignment for you. Go for these two. One is climate emergency. Search this one. One is climate emergency, another one is called as climate justice. This is no big deal. You can, if you read this one, you can understand. It's my assignment to you. Take down this one. What do you mean by climate emergency and climate justice? You prepare a note. You prepare a note. It's very simple. You can surf the Google, you can get, but don't go to all stupid sites. Go to UNFCCC or IPCC, right? Climate emergency, climate justice, right? These are the two concepts. Very simple concepts. If you are reading, you can understand, right? This is all about the climate. With this, we have completed what is called as the climate change. What is happening? These are all the concepts. Global warming potential, then neutrality, then I have given so many things like geoengineering techniques, then in the earlier one Kyoto Protocol, within the Kyoto Protocol you can find the flexible market mechanism, then Paris Agreement, INDC got turned into NDC. What is the difference between the Kyoto Protocol and the Paris Agreement? What is the biggest problem in the Paris Agreement is emission gap report. Do you remember what do you mean by emission gap report? Emission gap report is nothing but what is required, how much the world is contributing. There is a 5 times gap. There is a 5 times gap that is there. We need to fill that 5 times gap. When we will be filling that, we don't know. And also there is a thing called as the global stock take. All they are very, very important concepts. Clear? Then with this conclusion, let us enter the next and the last module. It's a small, very small module, but important module. Module 4. The last module and the small module called as pollution. What are they in this one? Pollution and EIA. Environmental impact assessment and the pollution. These are the two topics that are there. What we need to discuss in the pollution? We need to discuss the air pollution, the water pollution, then the soil, then we need to talk about the noise pollution. These are the smaller things. Then we need to enter into the environmental impact assessment along with some of the things that are related with the managements, like solid waste management. Clear? All these things will be seen. Come on. Give the heading as the fourth one, pollution. Okay? Is it okay? Now let us go to the pollution. Give the heading as Module 4, pollution and EIA. What is pollution? Come on, write down some notes regarding the pollution. Come on, write down the definition of pollution and we'll see the things like, write down notes. Come on. Give the heading as pollution and environmental pollution. Give the heading as, don't say simply pollution. Write as environmental pollution. Okay? So environmental pollution. Pollution is the okay, one of our friend who is having a doubt like, sir, meteors are not present there. Where do you find the meteoroid belt? See, you people are thinking like, meteors are there in that region at 1.5 million kilometers. What do you think of meteors? Where do you find the asteroid belt? The asteroid belt is present somewhere between Mars and Jupiter. And the meteors, there is no such belt called as meteor belt. The meteors are the one where they will be coming towards Earth. These are the small rocky material. If they come and they hit the glass, then what happens? What is the big deal? Okay. Sir, today, what is this, sir, today? Today is what? Sir, today? Question mark. Today is what? Come on, let us write the environmental pollution. Come on, write down. Just a few lines. Acha, you are having one more class at 5. Okay, just 1 minute, write down. Speed. Environmental pollution. Environmental pollution. Any introduction of contaminants into the natural environment, that cause adverse change is called as environmental pollution. Any introduction of contaminants, contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse changes is called as pollutant, environmental pollutant. Is called as environmental pollutant. Full stop. Pollutants can take form of pollution. Write down like this. Pollution can take the form of chemical substances. Pollution can take the form of chemical substances or energy. Full stop. Okay? Full stop there. Another definition is there. We will be seeing this another definition in the next class. Since we are in the democratic form of country where you people, as you are telling that you are having one more class at 5, I am stopping here sharp at 4:30, right? I have sent these 3 PPTs to our friend Ruchi Singh. She is having those PPTs. I request Ruchi Singh to please, ma'am, you please forward those things in the classroom team, for the classroom team,
so that they will be uploading those PPTs regarding the climate change, right? Tomorrow will be the last class, we'll be completing the pollution along with the environmental impact assessment. Is it okay? Take care, see you, all the best, prepare well. Last class is still there. Tomorrow at sharp 1:30 we'll be starting and we'll be completing with no hurdles. Okay, tomorrow will be the last class. Here, at most, whatever is possible, the best way I have given all those things. If something is left, that thing what I felt might be, if you can read that one, you can understand. That's why the small things are being left willingly. Clear? The remaining things, all the major concepts I have completed. Fine? Take care. See you at 1:30 tomorrow. We'll be completing the environment. Is that okay? Take care. See you. Bye-bye. You will be getting the PPTs.